welcome back CHC for our fifth and final installment of Why I'm Doing the Open series. When I sit down, we're going to talk with Tammy Williams and learn about her CrossFit experience. So, Tammy, how long have you been doing CrossFit for?
I started CrossFit when CHC opened in its original location. So This is my 6th year.
6th year.
But it'll be the 5th time that I've done the Open.
Wow. Yeah. So you've experienced a lot of unique different workouts and everything, a part of it. And,
yeah, it's been an experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with the Open coming up, why is it that you're doing the Open this year? Why is it that you continue to keep doing the Open every year?
For me, it really gives me the opportunity to gauge my fitness relative to other people in my age bracket, people who also have professional careers and are working sort of the same kind of taxing schedules that I'm working. You know, on a day-to-day basis, in the box here, I have the opportunity to see how I do against other people just on our internal whiteboard, which really doesn't give a lot of measures against people who are peers of my own.
Right.
So it's interesting to me to see how I do against people in my age group. And I think it's a more accurate measure of my fitness because I could leave here on any given day feeling like I just really didn't do very well because I'm measuring myself against people who are much younger or have a lot more access to gym time.
Sure.
And, you know, I think it's important for masters athletes to really not operate with that perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So essentially you're able to compare apples to apples and see how you progress through that and over time each year.
That's right.
Awesome. Great. So you said this will be your 5th year doing the Open?
Yes.
Awesome. So out of all the years you've been a part of CHC's Open, what moment stands out the most to you?
I've given a lot of thought to that question, and I think, you know, the first Open for me was a significant experience because I had an awareness about sort of the Open process from Pam and Tracy and some of the people who were doing CrossFit even when we opened the first spots. So I had a sense of sort of what it was about, but I hadn't really felt what it was like to be a competitor in the Open. So that felt like a huge learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the most significant experience that I had was actually last year because I had labored so hard to try to get handstand push-ups. You know, in the old box, I would be in the side room on Sundays doing handstand push-up workouts, trying to just like get the skills, be able to link them together, to be able to link several in a row together. And so for me, it's been a sort of a long learning curve and sort of strength building process for me to be able to get handstand push-ups. Even here, there were workouts where there were, you know, like a 21-15-9 kind of workout that had a handstand push-ups, and you know, I would just be like running into the next class trying to get my handstand push-ups. And so in 17.4 last year, the workout that had the 55 deadlifts, calories, wall balls that ended with handstand push-ups, I was very excited to hit like 5 handstand push-ups in the Open. At that Open standard, which is really awkward anyway.
Oh yeah.
But to me, it felt like just an incredible accomplishment.
Awesome. That's great. So my last question: if Dave Castro were to grant you one wish for the Open, what would that be?
Well, I might just say, and for people who know me, it would be appropriate for me to say no burpees because I'm just like incredibly slow with burpees. But I think I would really like to see that the scaling for the divisions, for the master's divisions, is appropriate and given some consideration for sort of joint protection. And by that I mean not putting like lots of squatty things back to back to back in the workout, or not having like really high reps and that sort of thing. I'd really like to see a lot more thoughtfulness in how they scale for each of the master's divisions so that there isn't a huge drop off in skills or weights, but there is an eye given to sort of what the movements are and how they're packaged together and sequenced in order.
Well, the Open is coming. We'll see what Dave Castro has in store for us starting next week. But thank you, Tammy, for coming in. Really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
So that wraps up our Why I'm Doing the Open series. So hopefully that has answered all your questions and got you guys ready to start CHC's Open.